Hello, welcome to an evening gothic edition of Black and Orange. It's the worst accent ever. Hey, everybody, thank you so much for being willing to, um, what do you call it? Reschedule.
Schedule?
Thank you. That's the word I'm
Yes.
looking for. Reschedule so that we could do this evening. Um, I'm trying to get this to connect so I don't get feedback. But so I am here. I show up 365 days of the year, and you can't get rid of me. Try as you might. I take your political questions out of the chat. I don't do personal readings unless it's um, like a giveaway or something. I don't do personal readings often, and I don't do them for money, but not publicly. And 10% of my income from everything black and orange goes to Feeding America at feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. And that is an ongoing thing. We have an excellent community because of you. Thank you so much. Sarah, this would not be possible without you. The week
I
I've
do, I
had
do what I can.
and everything else you do to help me, bless you.
Well,
Bless you.
Mercury has decided to yeet itself back into Gatorade. So
It's
this
more like
is
yeah, it's more like Mercury in microwave at this point.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Oh, thank you, Amy. You're very sweet.
so. Yeah. If you're watching this on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. All the questions are listed there, and then Sarah's kind enough to hang out with me and do timestamping. So everything will be timestamped for you. And for fun, I thought since we're on late, um, I've got the silvery nails, and this is
Ooh.
gems or something. It looks a little
Ooh.
bit like a moth.
Mhm. Here, wait. Let's see if I can do it. Ah, there we go. Ooh, very gossamer. Ooh, lovely.
So that's what's going on. That's what's going on here. And this is the burn I have. It's fine. It's healing beautifully. So all's well. All right.
Okay. Oh, Mercury is in retrograde, Trillium, as of depending on the chart you read yesterday or today, but it's definitely there now. So fun, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And people who have Mercury retrograde in their chart from when they were born,
They're
I
good.
mean, I guess they have troubles growing up, but they can deal with the energy and they just roll with it. And so Mercury retrogrades don't really affect them. And it's like, wow, that must be nice.
Must be real nice.
Anyway, how is my father? He's back from the hospital. He's home from the hospital, which is good. He spent the night there. Um, and yeah, it was the whole leg, which was a big chunk of today, this afternoon, what have you. It was up to me to be there and bring him home, and so I had to drive down there and sit with him for hours, and the doctors, and
Because
there
nothing
were
is ever quick in hospitals.
no,
Ever.
and they're overloaded, and so they
Mhm.
couldn't even get him into a bed. So he's had to stay in the ER overnight, which is not conducive for resting. But he's home, and he's got a heart monitor, and yeah. Anyway, but he's alive, and I'm happy, and we'll just go from here. And so yeah, that's it. So we're good, I guess, and we'll be all right. We'll be all right. And yes, Jamie, prayers for Jamie Raskin, diagnosed with lymphoma, treatable but still worrisome. Bless him. The best that man is if he hasn't been through enough, and
Right.
he is good people.
Mm-hmm.
So
Very good. Very good.
okay,
Yeah, and then Kristen, I saw that Trump can Trump can say subpoenas are dead until I see it with my own two beady little eyes. Trump says a lot of things.
What happened?
So Trump is saying apparently that that the select committee has withdrawn the subpoena of him concerning the January 6th protest insurrection. They probably did so because they knew I did nothing wrong, whatever. In any event, the subpoena is dead. He can say that until I see official whatever. I put note zero stock into, yeah.
His in astrology, having Mercury, how you speak, being at a harsh right angle to Neptune, which is about fantasy, the immaterial, and those two being it doesn't guarantee you're going to be a horrendous liar. But if you choose to, if you decide you're going to lean in that direction, it's one of those things where if you're flying across the country, all you need to do is just be a tiny bit off, because over time it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Yes. And then you're trying to go to LA and you end up in Canada. Yeah. Well, he's on the North Pole, so I don't think we've ever tried.
And his destination was Cancun, so figure that out, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, well, we are going to dive right in at, we'll say, 6:50.
I can't actually see the questions right now. I'm just going to, but you're usually so good. Okay. Just so you know.
All right. So, let's take a journey back for a moment. In 1984, Trump lost 2 trials, not 1, but 2, where he learned that it was illegal to use Schedule C reporting of multiple business that had failures with no revenue to offset his tax liability. This was explained to him multiple times in multiple courts that if you do this, it is illegal. This is a no-no. Knowing this, he went on to do it over 26 times between 2015 and 2020 alone, on top of bogus loans and overstated property values. Salon is reporting that Trump is presumably guilty of actual bona fide tax fraud. Will charges be forthcoming?
Is this federal? Is it state? Do we know? Does it matter?
It's federal.
Federal. Oh.
Yes. So, because remember, when Martha Stewart went away, it was because she knew better. It was because she used to be a tax broker or a stockbroker, and she knew the rules. And Trump had the rules explained to him way back when. So,
what I am getting is he's already got, or we were already feeling disappointment that so much has happened, and he's disappointed he hasn't been able to make all this go away. We're all disappointed that things aren't moving faster. Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Roxana, he couldn't afford H&R Block. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
TurboTax? Seriously. TurboTax could have saved him, but it would have had to save him from himself. That was good. Roxanne.
Yeah, sorry.
This is sitting underneath the card for the reading. This disappointment. The burden of the things he did, plus the investigations and whatnot. So that should have stopped him. And yet, here we are. So he knew about this, Mr. Moneyman, back in the 80s. But he thinks you just obfuscate, you lie, you divert attention, you do this, that, and the other. And then you just watch your money come, ill-gotten gains just roll in. I mean, in one article I read, it was talking about it's possible during this particular time period that he owed about $26 million in taxes and he paid $2.
Yeah.
I think $24 million, if you gave $24 million to any of us, I think that might make a difference in our lives.
Yeah.
But what this feels like is that he's just a man. It's like his even in the 80s, this was different. It was on a different Capricorn path. His Gemini sun is in the 10th house of Capricorn, the workaholic, the status seekers. They're not all like that. I'm not knocking Capricorn. Please don't at me. Please don't come at me. I've had a long day. And my first long-term relationship was with a Capricorn. So anyway, but this was when he was the businessman, and then this is just him, the pathetic loser that he is now. His energy is waning. His energy, his notoriety and his power and everything, it obviously had bankruptcies, but and he became president, and now it's just flunk. He's not the emperor, so he's not being protected like he was. And God bless Hutchinson. Hutchinson. Ooh, boy.
Yeah, we're going to talk about her here in a minute.
Yeah, okay. So, will the IRS go knock, knock? Yeah, that's a big deal. That's a big old bullhorn outside your door. These are the tax authorities. This is the FBI, whatever. Open your door kind of thing. Oh, I wish. Queen of Cups, 7 of Cups, 10 of Wands, Devil, Queen of Swords. This is Biden's executive branch. These are Trump's lies. This is the burden, and he's carrying a huge burden of his own making. These are Marley's chains after he died and goes back to see Scrooge. Only those chains were of his own making. The chains were made up of account books and all of this. These are his own. This burden is of his own making. This, I mean, I am getting an investigation. I got judgment for the reading. I would have preferred if I had them the other way around. It's at this point, it's kind of hard to not feel frustrated, I think.
Oh yeah, God yeah.
It's like, do we care if there's
right.
there might be another investigation? It's like, can we actually? How many
finish
years
one that we started?
Yeah.
Right.
How many years have to go by? This reminds me that Trump's business is being monitored now by a woman who's telling him no.
Ooh.
Jack Smith, hello. Hello, Jack Smith. How are you doing? This is Trump still trying to come up with plans, trying to find ways around things. But these are legal decisions. And this is Jack Smith, and he is right there. All roads lead to Smith.
Yes.
So nice. Good luck avoiding Jack Smith. Donald Moron Trump.
All right. Well.
Yes, Kathy Delisle. I wear the chains I forged in life.
Mm-hmm. At 15:10, Kristen at Uncover the News had asked.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Kristen. In the previously unreleased testimony from Cassidy Hutchinson found in the J6 report, it's noted that in the days following, she found Mark Meadows burning documents with Representative Scott Perry on multiple occasions.
What they were both making s'mores in the White House fireplaces.
Pretty much, Anita kindling. Mm-hmm. So, what were they burning?
They did it together?
Yes, they were in Meadows' office shoveling documents in the fireplace.
And setting them alight.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I didn't even know that the fireplaces still worked in that building. I just assumed that they'd been shut up for, sake of safety, because the West Wing is just a warren. I mean, it is. Mm-hmm. It would be hard, not the easiest thing in the world to evacuate that place. What were they putting in there?
And what was up? Yeah.
And this was in the week or two.
The days following January 6th. So after, yes.
Mm-hmm. For all we were frustrated, there was a lot of talk then of, after January 6th, we're going to be arrested now. Mm-hmm. Which is what should have happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's what seriously should have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Page of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, 5 of Wands, and Moon. They were expecting a knock at the door. So, because even though it feels like they were both not happy with Trump.
Mm-hmm.
But tough, you made your bed.
And picked out the sheet count and everything. Mm-hmm.
And you made your bed with Trump sheets. And you made your bed with Trump. And they kind of wanted
horrible thread count. Horrible thread count, yes.
He's just gross. They wish they could just leave, just disappear. Mm-hmm. But they were expecting a knock on the door at any point. And it does feel like a bit of a panic.
Yeah, it was definitely a CYA type situation. Yeah. A major attempt of CYA anyway.
So yeah, they were in a panic because they were really expecting at any moment somehow law enforcement of some nature from somewhere, probably the FBI under Christopher Wray, who was not 100% behind Trump's coup, to come into the White House en masse. And so they were just anything that would link them, discussions, notes, what have you. So now that there's that, will they be? See, that's the problem. How do you at that point, how do you hold them accountable? You don't partially burnt stuff. She didn't save partially burnt stuff and be like,
right. Right.
It's her word against his. So will he be held accountable? And thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Sarah.
Happy to help.
Thief of documents. Wasn't there some talk about top secret stuff too?
That's next.
Thief of documents. So this was getting rid of stuff, but this is also getting. I don't know that it was everything that they were burning was specifically about January 6th. There might have been some stuff in there that they weren't supposed to have, or it was related to January 6th, but not in the way that we're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just a talk between Trump and his ilk.
Right.
Empress, Page of Pentacles, Six of Swords. Interesting. This is a card for America. This is going up the river. This is legally, being sent off. And this is the Page of Pentacles would be a Republican, but this would be like a small sentence, or it's one smaller charge among others. But they do feel worried about what they're going to be held accountable for. See, I don't know that I've even been getting Meadows going to prison, but this doesn't feel good for him. Are you there? Did I freeze up? Miss Sarah, did you freeze up? I guess Miss Sarah froze up. Quite often she can hear me, though. So, hello, everybody. Okay. Having a quick look in the chat. True, Kelly. It's hard to prove a negative. The docs are missing. Okay. Anne says, "You're fine, Sarah froze." Okay, fair enough. Just keep an eye on my phone if she sends me a message. My net is funky. 1 sec, she said. Okay, she'll be back. Kelly says, "I've heard that 45 wanted to eradicate proof of Russian interference." That makes sense. But by that point, it wasn't about the Russia thing. It would probably be more about traitorous Trump and his top secret tribulations, terrors. Can't think of a T word right now. So, is it Wysocki? It says Meadows would also sometimes make multiple copies, then distribute to outsiders and burn the originals. Holy buckets, that's not good. You there?
Okay. Yes, sorry about that. My internet went funky, so I'm hotspotting so I can make sure that, I'm here.
Thank you.
So, you are welcome.
Wysocki is saying Meadows would also sometimes make multiple copies, then distribute them to outsiders and destroy the originals?
Well, that's stupid. Why would you give other people evidence against you and then burn? Okay. I mean, I'm not doubting it. I'm just saying that's just okay.
It's really stupid.
It's stupid, but as the kids would say, concerning the people involved, that tracks. Yeah, it fits. Okay, so, speaking of Meadows and all those involved, all right, at 24, even. Bum-ba-da-bum.
Debo says, listening to Chris Hayes on MSNBC, Meadows burned documents over a dozen times.
Wow. I'm not surprised. Okay, we'll say at 24.
I love this. Anne said, "Hey, never said he used all the watts in the light bulb." That's good. I've never heard that one. That was good.
Okay, so here's another thing. Speaking of stuff that he had to burn, Hutchinson also testified that in the days leading up to J6, Trump had staffers bring in dollys of boxes of documents and such from, quote, the Hill and the, quote, House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. How did they get clearance for that? And are those the boxes in part that ended up at Mar-a-Lago?
I've heard of binders full of women, but dollys full of top secret
full of
documents.
boxes. Yeah.
Boxes.
From the hill.
So co-conspirators in possibly having stolen top secret documents.
Mm-hmm. And the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence.
This is a card of decisions. These are bonehead. I'm sorry?
Somebody made a poor one.
Yes, they did. Yes.
Wow.
Hermit, Sun, Two of Cups, Knight of Swords, Two of Pentacles. This is stuff that nobody was supposed to be looking at. Or very few people were supposed to be looking at. Very few people were supposed to have access to this. This is a careful study, and he's alone. And it all coming to light. And the thing is that documents like that, when they're copies, there are automatic records when copies are made of top secret documents. When you print some out, there's a record of that. In his little blanket for it. This is aggressive law enforcement. This is I don't have a good argument to explain that.
Yeah.
So what are we talking justice-wise? Joyce says Devin Nunes was involved. Of course he was.
Him or his cow. Or his mom.
Hi, Jack. How you doing? Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith.
How's your mom and him?
How's your mom and them? Page of Pentacles. Hermit. Evidence. Nine of Cups. Evidence all laid out. Nobody was supposed to have some of this stuff. Nobody. And you're using a dolly? You're dollying in top secret documents on wheels. Just.
I just keep thinking about that skit from Ron White years ago where he was doing a show in DC, the comedian. And he was doing a show in DC and he said it was weird. He said when you pull up, there's all these like shredded trucks like everywhere. He's like they're just mobile evidence getter-ritterers. He's like
you're not wrong.
He's like it's just the weirdest. He said, and this is the one place you wouldn't think that you would want mobile evidence getter-ritterers. But yet here we are. So yeah. Wow. Well, speaking of Mr. Smith coming to Washington, at 29, Sin Page has a strong sense that Jack Smith's already here, but let's check in. How's Jack doing? How's Jack doing?
Keeping in mind, this is a man who does triathlons for funsies.
And hangs out at the water cooler at The Hague.
Right. He's going after war criminals, and now he's going after Trump.
And his very bad evidence getter-ritterers.
Yes.
Very bad evidence getter-ritterers.
Oh, Jack, how you doing? Normally, I would expect to get something like a, there's a lot to do, or I'm, working my way steadily, or I'm struggling. This does not feel like struggling. I really wonder what cases he's been trying in The Hague, what trials he's been a part of, because if it's some of the most heinous people out there who end up at the World Court, Donald Trump
is going to look like a chihuahua.
He's going to look like the clown version of the wannabe. It's like he's showing up in big clown shoes with the big fake nose, and of course that hair, which he wouldn't have to change much, and and it's like up there with the big frilly collar and everything and the pom-poms, and is just like, with his plastic hammer mallet hitting the podium.
Yeah.
And Jack Smith is like,
yep.
And this is a lovely back of the card.
I was going to say, hello, Mercury. How you doing? How's your mom and him?
I got this deck specifically because I liked the color on the back. That's the truth. Yes. It's lovely. It's lovely. On this side, we have all of the evidence laid out. Yeah. Jack Smith. He's like, a lot of this work's already done. Been done for me. I'm not, and he's not having to try to get information in some third world country or in some, talk about people who've burned evidence and, King of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, Six of Wands, Page of Wands, Four of Cups, he's going through the minutia. Yeah. I mean, he for good reason. He's like emotionally detached from it.
Well, yeah, you gotta be.
And he's looking at the individual pieces of who, what, where, when, and how. This is the people involved, the people who helped Trump and Trump himself, whatever they're worried about through by asking for pardons, they were admitting to their own culpability. They were trying to get a victory they did not earn. There are messages out there. There were actions taken. They refused to cooperate. He feels detached. And very clear, just carefully, just working his way through. He feels like a lot of the stuff's already there, tied up in a bow. And, but he is familiarizing himself with every last thing. Now, at home, I wonder if his wife is not only taking care of him because he broke his leg, and that's going to take a while to fully recover from, but also he's burning the midnight oil to learn everything he can, because he is absolutely learning everything he possibly can. So I would not mess with this guy. I feel that very strongly. I am so glad I do not break the law. No thanks. I didn't do anything. Hands up. I did nothing. Seriously. No thanks. I didn't do anything.
Name is Bennett, and I'm not in it. Nope.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, one last question for our dear friends in Washington, or the White House, this particular group of jolly people. At 3510, Eileen asks, while we saw that Meadows will probably not get in trouble for the voting in North Carolina, do the cards know if he is telling the DOJ everything in hopes of saving himself? Basically, does it look like Meadows, now that we know even more about what's going on with Meadows, with the burning of the documents, with the voter fraud, with the, at some point, has he gotten to the point to where he's just like, look, we're going to have a chat? Like, has he pulled up into his confessional booth and, bless me, prosecutor, for I have sinned? I mean, where are we at here?
And I'm thinking flipping like a pancake because I'm still hungry.
Yeah.
Who has thrown the book at him? Card for the reading? Like, you better duck because they are throwing the book at you.
Like the Oxford English Dictionary book. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen Glenn Kirshner hold up the penal code of the, this giant? Yeah.
Yeah.
5 of swords, insult to injury. This is the clarity. And the sun. You would think with the sun card that would be a yes. You would think that he's... See, it feels like back here, they were really threatening him. And there was a thing. And there is a reason the DOJ decided not to indict him for failing to comply with the January 6th Select Committee subpoenas. So he was probably working with them to some extent. This is the truth will set you free. If not free, at least with very little damage. But I don't know if the whole truth would set him free.
Oh, you think we're too far down the rabbit hole?
I wonder if there were so many times he should have just picked up the phone and called the FBI. And he ended up... And that's the thing that people in later years, they won't understand about this time period, which was that it certainly to those kinds of people, it really did look like they could get away with anything. And Trump really had convinced them that they could get away with anything. And it was only after January 6th failed that some of them were like, oh, wait a minute. I might be
yes,
or something.
Yeah.
Let's see 1 second. Meadows. Burden. And what'd you do with the documents, Mark? 2 of Cups. Okay, so he has complied.
He did give over all the text messages and everything. He did do some things.
Yeah, he did, but there was so much.
Yeah.
It feels like he did not cooperate. That's what it's looking for. It looks like he did do some cooperation, but I've still got a threat of theft going up the river because he wasn't fully honest. So whatever deals he managed to make or was trying to make, I think they fall apart because he was not honest. I think for all that Cassidy Hutchinson painted a portrait of Meadows on January 6th of, my impression of Mark Meadows on January 6th. He's not listening.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's one thing. I was trying to talk reason. I'm just scrolling through all this information or all these messages that are coming in. That's not what this feels like. That was not, because the other thing you have to remember about Cassidy Hutchinson, she worked for him. She worked for him. She chose to work for him. There are some things he was doing that not only, like the one time that he was on the phone in the car and he closes the door so she can't hear, but there were some things he was doing in his office, people he was talking to, where her suspicions weren't, her spidey senses were not going off.
She's very young too. She doesn't
she is,
exactly. know. I mean, had she had some more years under her belt, especially just world experience, her spidey senses would definitely have been. So yeah.
So I think by the time her spidey senses started going off, I think he was actually much farther down that road. Entertainment only, but this is what I'm getting in the collective energy. So make of that what you will.
Okay. Well, we're leaving the White House for a bit, and we're going to take a detour to Colorado at 4130.
What's in Colorado?
Okay, so let's story time. You guys remember how Bobblehead's landlord didn't renew the lease for her gun-slinging cafe? And then, do you remember hearing about how shortly after her mother made a series of videos and racist rants about how Latino brown people are frustrating her during her shopping at Walmart, and that she's tired of hearing their hat music, sombrero, whatever. Well, karma has come a-calling. The location formerly known as Shooters will be reopened after renovations as Tapatios Family Mexican Restaurant.
And I bet the food will be so much better. So much better.
How good are the odds that Boebert and her mother may try to sneak in on 2-for-1 margarita night?
Tommy Campbell reading pages out of her book. Oh gosh. Some of Tommy Campbell's stuff is funny. Some of it, like the lip reading, I don't agree with. But when he reads a page out of her actual autobiography, lies and stupidity, illusion, delusion. And racism is a delusion. And it's just flat out stupid. King of Wands. Wands are fire signs. Nice try. This almost feels like they'd try to like question the zoning or something stupid. I don't. As far as them going in from 2-for-1 margarita night, no. This is a big old refusal. But this feels like almost like suing the landlords for being kicked out, or
I mean, the landlord just refused to renew her lease. Her lease was up for renewal, and the landlord was like, hate it, we're done here. And she whined and complained, but she can't make them rent to her. I mean, as much as she may think that she can, she can't, So,
well, consider who we're dealing with. Because if you yes, Valerie, would you like salsa with that?
Like that salt good. from the rim glass getting her eye. Just
yeah. let's just say that if you read the any part of the autobiography or you hear any part of it, you start realizing, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not exactly
Sophisticated.
um, upstanding members of society. And they've now got a bit of power. So since power amplifies who you are.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is what I'm going to say. Okay, I'm from the South. All right. I'm from the South. I'm from very modest means. Totally proud of my heritage, where I came from, whatnot. Okay, so I say that almost sounds dangerous. Say, I love my people. My people, we're broke, but we're funny. That's what we do. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's certain stereotypes, and I realize redneckery is everywhere. Jeff Foxworthy once said that there are rednecks in all 50 states and Canada, and this is true. Okay. So I realize that while Colorado is definitely not Southern, there's still some redneckery mindsets going on over there. If you were complaining about your shopping experience at Walmart, if your daughter is a sitting member of Congress and you get on, I don't know if you've seen these videos, her best friend is with her and made fun of how much she looked like Snooki because she overdid it with the spray tan. Of course, she's got the dyed black hair. Okay. So if you were going on and making videos to post on Al Gore's internet looking like Snooki, complaining that there are people who are ruining your Walmart shopping experience because of the fact that they the whole family comes. Well, yeah, why not? But there's too many of them. Okay, and when you roll up, I like hard rock, and when you roll up next to one of them, and they're playing their hat music, and it just ruins everything. It's like, lady, your daughter is a sitting member of Congress, and you're complaining about your Walmart shopping experience.
Mm-hmm. And frankly, if we're thinking about the same thing, that kind of music she's talking about is really good polka, actually.
Yeah. But I mean, that's a special sort, man. There's a special sort. I mean, I love Walmart. I don't love Walmart. I've got people who love Walmart. Walmart annoys me. To me, there's too many people that are just, there's too many people judging other people, and I don't want to be among the judgy people because I'll judge them, so I don't go. I mean, it's just, it's whatever. And then I don't normally go to Target because I'm usually running late, and then I don't want to take the chance of wearing my Walmart clothes to Target because that's a whole thing. And so I order in or delivery because whatever. Yes, she would end up in photos from Walmart. Yes, she would, Eileen. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, you could go look at peopleofwalmart.com.
Yeah, but I think
this
of that,
is what you
and there was this very square-bodied guy in a bikini.
Yes, it happens.
That is like burned into my brain, unfortunately.
But you don't go to Walmart for a Macy's type shopping experience. Just like you don't go to Waffle House for fine dining. You just go to get the food, to get it done, get out of there. So, yeah, that's a whole other level of, for real? Like, is this what we're doing? So,
Oh, wow. There's a lot of talk in the chat about George Santos.
Yeah. It looks like he's under federal investigation for his stuff. Did you see? I forget? I don't know if I read this after you did your thing yesterday. Did you see the Jewish comment?
Yes, Jew-ish.
I never said I was Jewish. I said I was Jew-ish, and I was like, "Wait, what?" And like, then I realized this wasn't sarcasm. This wasn't the Onion. Like, this was for real. I didn't say it was Jewish. I said it was Jew-ish, and I'm like, sir. Do you want to read on Mr. Santos? You want to see what's going on over there?
Sure. He's
supposedly under federal investigation for lying because, I mean, he filled out FEC paperwork. He lied. And also, where did this money come from? Because the problem is that he worked for a call center instead of Goldman Sachs. He got evicted for owing over $12,000 to his landlord. Of course, it's New York, so that's like 2 months worth of rent, but whatever. But how did he give his campaign $705,000?
Yeah, let's just look at where he's headed. Because
okay,
before I while I was eating, I was listening to House Sparks, watching Tulsi Gabbard fill in for Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is we're already in slight nausea realms. Tulsi Gabbard interviewing George Santos, and here's the thing: apparently, it's come down from on high. He's a liability, and they want him gone.
Mm-hmm.
They can't go after Hunter Biden with him around. So they want him gone, and she gave him no quarter. And it's like, okay, I guess that's what they're doing over there. But and he never apologized. He said something, I forget how did he parse it, but he said something like, I'm sorry I did that. Like,
yeah.
And it's like, but the wording was all
weird.
I should have done something else. Yeah, that was I could have gotten away with it if I hadn't done that. So I forget exactly
kids. Yeah.
It was something like that. So George Santos,
while you're
awful, yes.
Oh, Patricia said I stopped going to Walmart because they don't have any cashiers, only self-checkout. I'm not employed by Walmart and refuse to work for them for free. Exactly. If I'm going to be shopping there regularly, I want my W-2 in January. Pay me. So. Oh, goodness. But yes, George Santos.
Yeah, they're coming after him. They're absolutely coming after him because he's not going to stop. He's not done lying. He will keep. He is going. Just he's being called on it.
He lied about everything.
Everything. His Jen Lin on Christmas Day actually created a 12 Days of Christmas, part of a 12 Days of Christmas of all of his lies.
Oh wow!
Yeah. He lied about his name. He lied that his mother died on 9/11. He lied. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on.
Wow.
And this is all fantasy. And they are coming after him because he thinks he is better than everybody because he's actually so damaged that it's to cover up that he truly deep down feels that he is trash. And this is how he covers it up rather than deal with whatever issues he needs to deal with. even in the explaining and what have you, he will continue to lie.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to pivot and be like, oh, all right, I'll come clean. No. And they're coming for him. Law enforcement is coming for him. So, yeah. And he's a representative elect.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's going to happen there? Because McCarthy, at last I heard, was not saying boo, because McCarthy wants a Republican seat warmer, even if it's George Santos.
I mean, the thing about it is, though, and this is what most people don't realize, that it's, I know sometimes it's up to the state, but usually precedence is if something happens and to make things fair, Democrat A is elected, Democrat A does something stupid, the space is vacated, it's filled by Democrat B. It usually sticks within the same party. Usually.
But this is New York.
I don't know
State.
very many. This is New York. So, and I don't know what. Yeah, Janelle says the governor will put another Republican in there. But the thing about it is, though, is they don't really have control over what Republican. It could be a moderate Republican. It could be a left-leaning Republican. The governor gets to pick who they want until they can hold another election. So,
about him in that seat, because they were hoping he would be this big. He ticked all kind of boxes. He's Latino. He's gay. He's all this stuff, and so they were going to put up with anything to say we're not racist, we're not bigoted. This has completely blown up in their faces. Like, this makes the Walker debacle look like a walk down to the post office. He's got all kinds of fraud, is what this feels like. Not just lying, but flat out fraud. Entertainment only, YouTube. And he's not going to shut up. But he was willing to toe the party line, and they're gonna boot him out. Like, do not let the door hit you. Like, open the doors and just go poof.
Yeet.
But yeet. But do you get seated? Do you get replaced? The Republican.
Yeah, I think there'll be a special election, but I mean, I remember when Hillary left the Senate and they put Gillibrand in, and she was assigned. She ended up re-winning the seat afterward, but she was assigned, and they did it out of the same party.
Well, the Republicans are fighting hard to try to get a Republican that seat, and the reason that he won is because the state Democrats changed some of they were trying to be too clever by half and rearrange, so they gerrymandered, and they did it in a way they shouldn't have. And then
that's lovely.
That's why the Republicans have taken control, or are going to be taking control even temporarily, of the House. It's because of the stupid stuff that happened in New York. So that could be someone saying, all right, we're going to, the governor or whomever saying we're going to do something, and Democrats will work really hard if there's a special election. But I do have because of the way everything was set up, I wonder if there is a special election, if they can't get a Democrat in there, they can just try to get a moderate Republican. But this is a new Republican. Is how that ends. Political malpractice is And because the man in New York who was behind all the changes lost his seat.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave. And first we practice to be a dumb butt. Yes.
That works.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see what we've got.
I think I could do one more. I think I'm up for one more.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Well, in the same vein, while we're talking about George, and the Tulsi thing, he post Boebert, he has a strange ally in his corner. Marge.
Well,
Marge is, I know, but Marge is all Team Santos and is taking Tulsi apart, verbally attempting to limb by limb for
I don't
going
have
after.
popcorn.
I
don't have
know.
any
I
popcorn.
know.
All right.
I know. But so, in a move that honestly shouldn't really surprise anyone, Marge is a huge fan of resume-fluffer Representative-elect George Santos and is taking on whoever she can in his defense. What is her end game with this? She knows he's hurting the party. She has to. So what's Marge's end game here?
What has she been promised?
Then how's he got any money? He ain't got no money. Who's giving him the money?
But didn't you say that he donated $700,000 to his own campaign?
But where did it come from?
Well, who's to say he couldn't get more?
It's the Cotton Eye Joe of checkbooks. Where did it come from? Where did it go? I'm sorry, y'all. My kick is in. I've talked about Waffle House and Walmart and Mexican food and Ron White and Evidence Get Rid of Others. And now I just threw a whole random Cotton Eye Joe reference. It's.
I'm so glad we're friends.
Yes. Yes. But yes, it is the Cotton Eye Joe of checkbooks. Yes.
Where did it come from? Where did it go? I'm sorry, that's so funny. The money. Where'd the money come from? And wherever he got it, is Marjorie getting it from the same place? So it's like, you know what? We have all this money for you too, but we want that extremism. That's the fact is he is an extremist. Why, Marge? Why? First of all, the bludgeon's all her. She is a bully.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And everybody else is looking at her in general like, what is that, horrible troll doing here?
Right.
He is likely to be headed for some form of, let's say, up the river. He's going up the river. She doesn't want to risk losing another Republican seat. She is, I've been reading on her. She is, I don't have the words to describe how excited she is going into this next session. She's going to go in there. She's been promised she's going to be on all these important committees. She's going to go after the Bidens. She's going to go after everybody she wants to go after. She's going to humiliate all of them. She's going to bring them all down. And I mean, it's like she doesn't. It's like she's not doing it for the money. She's not actually doing it for the power, really. She's not even doing it to watch the world burn. She wants, because of her pathology, she wants other people humiliated.
Mm-hmm.
And that is her goal. I don't know what happened to her when she was young, but she wants them brought low. She wants them humiliated, and it's not going to work.
Right.
But she also thinks that she can bully her way in and out of anything. And considering how many times she cheated on her husband, she can't be trusted.
Mm.
And I really wish people would it's like, please, or not people talking about it. I just it's kind of like, can you pull like a thing where you don't talk about your private life and we don't have to hear about your boyfriends? That would be awesome. That would be
lovely. Mm-hmm. Okay. Bum. I think. Oh, I have.
Oh yeah, if you've got a good one, let's do it.
Well, I've got another Marge question, but that one's going to lower vibrations, so we're not going to go there. Well, then again, it's her being stupid. So, okay, let's just do it. All right. So, where are we at here at 106:30?
Yeah.
All right. So, while we're talking about Marge,
Michelle has mentioned she was bitten by a troll doll. That was good.
Oh Lord, that's hysterical. Okay. Marge is literally calling, and y'all, I'm dead serious. She is calling for bombing raids on Mexico to battle drug cartels. Now, she wants to spare the good people of Mexico and just bomb the cartels. They've got a GPS, I guess, that just say, this person's innocent, this person's a drug dealer, this person's okay. Like, and they're just going to weave the bullets or whatever, the fragments in the bomb. Just the cartels. To other people, they're good. All the good people.
Because the DEA hasn't been doing anything. Is that it?
So, will her dangerous rhetoric pick up any steam?
Bombing Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Aspasia Rising says, God, she's an idiot. She is vile. She is absolutely mean. She is a vicious bully.
Mm-hmm.
3, she wants to. The more power you give her, the more she shows who she is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Deanna's saying revenge for her pain. Could be. This energy is just it's like Trump fantasies, his vicious fantasies about what he wants to do to people. I'm getting the same thing. I'm gonna have.
She actually got the idea from him.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's been given all of this power, and there's Trump's base of power, so the far right. But this feels like she wants to. Hasn't she said some horrible things about things that should be done to Democrats?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she's going to quote unquote work, and we're gonna do all this, and I'm gonna watch these people suffer. And I mean, it's a horrible fantasy world that she's living in.
Yuckadoo. Big yuckadoo.
But it's delusion. It's not reality. It's projection of her pathology.
Doxy Mom says maybe she can get Santos to direct the Jew-ish space lasers. Yes, Jackie, we saw that. We talked about that earlier. Yeah.
So I keep picking this up, and I do not like when the cards are too good to be true. I don't.
Oh.
And I don't like that. Does not make me happy at all, because it's like, But how many times have I read on the House and got Democrats retaking control after a big sort of truth, specifically possibly legal truth, and here's illegal theft. Sorry, not illegal theft. I mean, I meant legal in the sense of an actual theft of the things. So she's so awful, and oh my gosh, she's in a fantasy world. But imagine how she's going to react when or if Democrats retake control of the House. And she gets booted off all those committees, all that power, all the Hunter Biden stuff just goes.
Oh yeah.
She'll have to go find some puppies to kick. And I use that metaphorically.
Yes.
Metaphorically.
Yes.
So.
All right.
Cindy is saying 24 minutes ago, CNN 24 minutes ago, feds are investigating George Santos' finances. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's a couple of things that can roll over until tomorrow. There's not much that you didn't get to, only 4 questions.
Okay. And thank you everybody for coming out so late. But no, please go ahead. You think there's something?
Do you have one more in you?
Absolutely.
Because it's giggleable and
Absolutely.
we need to end kind of on a high note.
Okay. Absolutely.
All right. Well, I know it's been Mercury and whatnot. So, okay. At 1:12:50. All right. Okay, so all Matt Gaetz wants for Christmas is for Jim Jordan to be speaker. Will Santa listen?
Santa's gone home.
I know. But all he wants for Christmas, instead of a Red Ryder BB gun, is
or
Jim Jordan.
Something to actually wash that fiberglass head of hair.
Yes.
Fruits of labor. That's a card for the reading. 3 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands. These people are so full of themselves. These people, of course, Jim Jordan should be speaker. He's done so much for us. It's just, and he's a white male. Of course he should, and he's been far right. But the rest of the far right, yeah, they want that. No, there's backstabbing going on, and there's no. I have not been picking up on Jim Jordan doing anything but going home with his tail between his legs is what I have been getting. Yes, Spirit Watcher Suzanne, he's on the naughty list. He has been fighting, he's been the Republican fighter, but Tower, Emperor, Queen of Cups. Hey, Jim, how much were you involved in January 6th?
Mm-hmm. It's like Jim and Matt are both just going to have to be happy with the lumps of coal they got in their stockings. So
They're just the lowest of the low. Ugh, all right.
yes. Okay. Well,
Alas, we will not have the human foghorn, air horn. We will not have the human air horn as a speaker.
mhm. Yeah, I don't think I can deal with that.
But anyway,
So.
thank you, everybody. And Sarah, above and beyond, thank you. Thank you for joining me.
You're most welcome. I'm glad I could entertain and bring my redneckery with me.
No,
And the
you're
Cotton Eye
awesome.
Joe and the So.
That was good. We gotta keep using that one. That was good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What did I just see in the chat? Ducks. No, it was JC said, "I found my tribe. I love you all." I
Oh,
understand. I
yes.
understand. Linda Kingsley says it'll be a clown show for about 4 months. It's kind of. I haven't got a specific time period, but yeah, that's what it feels like. But anyway, all right. Well, that's gonna do it for this the semi-spooky end of December edition
Ooh.
of the Black and Orange Tarot and Astrology Show. Anyway, I'll be back at normal time at noon tomorrow, Central Time, Chicago time. And just remember, you are not alone. We are in this together, and there really are good days ahead. So hang in there, and
Absolutely.
don't let the trolls bother you, and don't let them snap at your heels. Just ignore
Yeah.
them.
Mm-hmm.
Just ignore them. All right. And thank you for the prayers for my father. I really appreciate it. All right. So take care, everybody, and I'll see you here at noon tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.